There's a dude to our right. Damn. We got smoked.
Now detecting contaminated gear. Manhunt
And
initiated.
we detect the threat.
Protocol initiated.
Oh shit, we're going rogue? Who's rogue? Oh, you're rogue. I'm like sitting by the stairs waiting for you guys to spawn.
Weapons free! Weapons ready!
Serious trauma detected.
Almost destroyed! That one's down!
Heavily armored hostile detected.
I need you back with me! From this!
Thermite, a mixture of finely powdered aluminum and iron oxide that produces an extremely high temperature on combustion, often used with a chem launcher fire starter and fire sticky bomb. Thermite is also a former Rainbow Six Siege agent excommunicated for reasons unknown, now operating under a shade alias within the Division 2, one amongst many thousands of agents spread across New York and Washington, participating in missions consisting of executing targets with extreme prejudice. Why am I telling you this? Well, it's because at the advent of him becoming an official shade agent, he and I became friends, and Thermite gave me the tools I need to create this mixture in order to make this build. So many agents are making Eclipse Protocol builds along with the Val mask, but one aspect is missing, one that will allow this build to reach its full potential, enabling it to be the most effective. I will share this secret with you. Hey, what's up everybody? How you doing today? It has been so hectic over the past few days. I've been trying so hard to complete this raid, and honestly I'm enjoying it because it is not a DPS check. It's not like Operation Dark Hours. There's a few areas in there that are a DPS check, but it most definitely takes teamwork and coordination. We know where all the key locations are. Number 3 was tricky after the snipers, but we got it, and I have high hopes. I mean, I was on for so long last night and this morning trying to get past the third boss. We actually killed the third boss twice, got the key, but I had died just as the time ran out, so we weren't able to coordinate that part. But I'm very optimistic about it. I'm hearing the 4th boss is pretty much a breeze, and once we do it again, we're gonna knock it out. I'm really feeling optimistic and positive about that. So in the meantime, let me show you this build that I've been holding on to for a long time that I think is the way you should go with Eclipse Protocol and the burn status effect from here on out. The specialization I'm going with is Firewall. What else am I gonna go with besides Firewall for a fire build? I call this Thermite because Thermite is a chemical that produces some of the hottest temperatures, so it just seems fitting for this type of build, especially with the skills that I'm going with. I made a build called the Warrior, and I said many times in that build that I spread some misinformation because I thought that the burn sticky bomb stacked with explosive damage, but it doesn't. So I think that this might be exactly how I want it to be. Alright, let's get right into it. The primary weapon I'm using is the Everlasting Gaze, and this is to increase the status effect damage that you get by 50%, and all it takes is one headshot. The cooldown is 16 seconds. Now I'm going to explain to you why status effects are so important in this build. Secondary, I have the Pyromaniac. I can't say this enough, this is one of my favorite weapons. 25% damage to burning targets, and after killing 3 enemies, it automatically applies burning to the next target you hit. So if you're running anything with fire, this is a really good weapon that you can use to increase your DPS, because you're going to need as much as you can get with the damage you're going to be stacking on here. And a pistol, I'm just using a Liberty exotic pistol. Doesn't really matter what you use here. The reason why the status effects are so important in this build is because the Vile Mass has something called toxic delivery. Alright, status effects also apply a damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. That's not what I'm worried about here. What I'm worried about here is the fact that the damage increases by your status effect attributes. So the higher your status effects, the stronger the Vile Mass ticks are. Now I said in the thumbnail that this hits as hard as a tier 6, but you only have 3, and you don't need a mechanical animal. Here's why. On this build I have the maximum amount of status effects on every piece. The only thing that you're missing is the spread after the kill, and you can make this a tier 6. The reason why I have this as a tier 3 is because I just want to do more weapon damage with the 2 weapon cores, and I want to be a little bit more tanky with the 2 armor cores. So this is a tier 3 that's hitting for tier 6 damage. When I hit the enemy in the head with the Everlasting Gaze at a tier 3, I'm doing 104,000 ticks with the Vile Mask and 370k ticks with the burn from the sticky bomb and the chem launcher. This thing is nuts. I even tried it at a 6 tier. The 6 tier was hitting for 469k burn ticks. You can do that if you like, but I'm an advocate of hybrids and damage with my weapon. I want to be more effective in other ways. I just don't want to be a squish ball that's running around launching chems everywhere. That's just how I feel personally, but you could do what you want. So the 2-piece Eclipse Protocol gives you 15% status effects. What you want to roll on here is status effects on every piece. Gear sets only come with 1 attribute, so you want to use it wisely. Status effects. The more you have, the more damage you're going to do, the more burn duration you're going to have. And fortunately, I now have 3 maxed out skill haste. 312% is pretty sweet. The chest piece for the Eclipse Protocol you're not going to be using because you don't have a 4-piece. It's called Indirect Transmission, which spreads the status effect after you kill an enemy with it. You're not going to be doing that here, so this is pretty much mute. You will be, however, using a backpack talent, which I'm going to get to soon. And I'm going to explain to you, if you want to spread the status effect, how you can do that. The holster is an ongoing directive. Now, you want the holster to have already rolled with status effect, so you can roll armor or weapon, whichever you like, because ongoing directive only comes as a weapon core, right? And the 2-piece gives you 15%, which is another one on top of the other 15 from the 2-piece Eclipse. And because this is rolled as a status effect, you're increasing your status effects, and you're also giving yourself a little versatility with the armor. Now the backpack is an Eclipse Protocol. Each backpack has a special talent that you can use. Some of them you need the 4-piece with, some of them you don't. This is one of them where you don't need the 4-piece. The talent is called Symptom Aggravator. Okay, let me tell you what I wanted to do here. I initially wanted to increase my status effects by putting the Anarchist Cookbook and having Wicked with Golan Gear, adding another 10% status effects, and if I rolled another 10, that's another 20, which will give me more. But the problem with that is I wouldn't be able to use the Vile Mask, and you need all these pieces how they are in order for it to work. And the reason why I wanted to have Wicked was because I wanted to stack on top of the 25% damage I'm dealing from burning targets to give me another 18 from Wicked. The good thing about this backpack, which I found out later on, is that I have Wicked already with this. Symptom Aggravator amplifies all your damage that you deal to status affected targets by 15%. That is Wicked in a nutshell, but with 3% less. I mean, how great could that be? You giving me Wicked without me even asking for it, man. Come on, this is crazy. Once again, you want to roll status effects on this and another skill haste mod. Alright, the Firm Handshakes, another 15% status effects. And Sokolov comes as weapon cores, so this is an okay roll. I'd rather have it higher, but the more important thing here is your status effects, and I rolled skill damage. So this is the only skill damage roll I have on here. Everything else is status effects. Knee pads, the second piece of ongoing directive. Now you have some leeway with this because you don't have to have this already come with status effects if you're going to do it this way. If you want to do it full skill tier, you're going to want to get one that already has status effects so that you can roll this to a skill tier. But this is the way I wanted to do it, so it was easier. See, the hard thing about ongoing directive and things like this, like Grupo has like a utility mod slot, and you know the gear pieces that roll that way, is that they have to drop God roll and the way that you want them to drop God roll. So just keep farming for this and you'll get the pieces that you need in order for it to be the type of style that you want. On to the skills. Alright, I already told you this hits at the same damage as a tier 6 and I was not lying to you. This does 1.1 million damage and the duration is how long that sticky bomb stays on your body. When you attach it to an enemy, it stays on them for however long the duration is and for however long you want it to be on there before you detonate. Just like the EMP sticky bomb. EMP and the fire have the status effects that allow for you to do extra. Like the EMP, which I stated in my 5 advanced combat tips, you can shoot the EMP sticky bomb on those quadcopters to freeze them in the sky. You can shoot them on those robot dogs to freeze them. And this is all before you detonate it. It's the same with the burn sticky bomb. So as soon as you shoot this on an enemy, it's going to set them on fire. And it's going to be strong because those burn ticks are hitting for 370k plus the Vial Mask. So you're going to be hitting for almost 500k per tick with a 3-tier hybrid. That's nuts. So with the tier 3, you're going to be getting an extra 30% burn damage, 60% burn duration, and a 45% skill haste. My second skill is the Chem Launcher Firestarter. You get an ammo count of 6. Even with my 12% skill haste, I'm still getting an ammo cooldown of 20 seconds. This can be decreased if you increase your skill tier, but this is fine for me. The amount of damage that this does, it makes up for everything here. Now the burn duration is 11.7 seconds, and you already know how hard the Chem Launcher Firestarter hits in PvP. But to have one that's going to be hitting for this amount of damage and you being able to do the weapon damage is just great. I suggest you do it this way. You get an extra 3 ammo count, 15% radius, 30% burn duration, and a 30% burn damage increase. Alright, so I did say to you, for those of you who want to still spread the burn, because you don't have the 4-piece Eclipse Protocol, you're not able to spread the burn. But there's a way you can do that if you want to give up your Vial Mask, which is cool because if you give up your Vial Mask, you're only going to be increasing your status effects by using a Eclipse Protocol mask instead and using a Golan Gear backpack, not the Anarchist Cookbook, but another Golan Gear backpack, and adding onto it Creeping Death. So instead of spreading the burn after you kill an enemy, you're going to spread the burn before, because Creeping Death spreads this status effect to enemies within a certain amount of meters if you cause a status effect. So it's pretty much the same thing as indirect transmission, but you're just going to be spreading the status effect at a different time. Now this is if you do not want to use the Vial Mask and you want to increase your status effects even more. I'm going to make a version of that and I'm going to try it out to see how it is. But for now, this is what I'm going with. And if you want that damage right away and go back to the OG style of using the Chem Launcher and the Sticky Bomb, here it is. I mean, it's up to you. This is the way I like to do it, and I think that the stronger initially, the better. And I've tried this in many encounters, PvP, PvE, it works in all of them. If you want to see more hybrid builds, if you want to see more builds like this, click on this playlist right here, and you can check out all the hybrids I've made since my channel has started, man. If you enjoyed this video, if it helped you out in any way, please drop a like and don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. I drop dedicated Division 2 content, and you will not be disappointed. Until I see you in my next video, be right out.